Hello, Stephen here with WordSouth, and I'm going to take a few minutes today to review with you the online proofing system. This is a very intuitive, easy to use system that allows you to look at your pages, to comment on your pages, to make any changes that may be required, and ultimately to approve the local pages of the Regional Telco magazine. The process starts simply with an email, an automatic notification that you will receive through the system once we upload your pages for review. You will see a little thumbnail of your cover. You'll see a list here of all the people who you have added to your review team at your telco, and it will include what their level of authorization. Most everyone will be reviewers, and the local editor will be the approver. So they'll have a reviewer and approver beside their name, like I do here. And you'll also see the status at that point, which they will all be sent and getting ready to open at this point. The button that is most important here is the Go To Proof button. When you click there, it opens in your default browser. You'll see the splash screen where it's configuring the proof and bringing your proof ready. A nice crisp resolution image where you can begin looking at your pages and begin commenting on them. Before we get into the commenting process, I want to show you some of the tools and explain some of the navigation, the ways for you to get through your pages. There are a number of ways, and you'll find the one that works best for you. The great thing about this proofing system is if you're concerned about a tool, or if you're confused, you don't know what a tool does, all you do is simply hover over that with your mouse, and you'll get a nice window there that tells you what that particular tool does. There are several tools in here, especially these up here in the upper right hand corner, that you will not use. Or at least you'll very seldom use those. So let's begin by looking at the navigation. We're on page 1, and the first tool here allows you to look at a thumbnail. Click on there and you see a thumbnail of all the pages. This is great if you want to get to a particular spot in the proof right away. Let's say, for instance, you're real excited about the promo on the back and you want to take a look at that first. We'll look at the very last page in the proof. You click on that thumbnail and there it is. And it's the same with whatever page you want to look at inside the proof. You simply click on it and it will appear. We're going to go back to page 1 now. And to hide these thumbnails, you simply click on that tool again. These buttons here will allow you to go through the proof page at a time. Click on the button and the page will appear. You can also type in the page that you want to go to and hit return, and it takes you immediately to that. We're going to go back to page 1 now. Moving over to the right, we have this little hand tool, which is called the pan mode, which literally, when you hold down your mouse, lets you grab the image and move it around. We have the zoom tool, which, just as it says, allows you to zoom in to your magazine. You can also click, drag, and release to zoom into a specific area very tightly. Next to that, you see the box with the 4 little arrows. Click on that and it scales it to fit within your screen, whatever screen size you have available. And the 1-to-1 shows at approximately 100%. You can also click on this 100% image here and you can see some presets, 25, 50, 100, 200, and 400%. Also, you can fit it to the height, the width, or fit to the page from that drop down. And if we want to scale out or scale in, you can also use this plus and this minus, or grab the green slider and move it in and out. Once you zoom in, you'll see your navigator appears here when you're using this tool, and you can actually grab that box and move it to wherever you want in the publication. For the most part, you will be using these tools in here, and occasionally your zoom tool to get into your text. We're going to go back to the full screen mode. A couple of tools over here. I really doubt you'll ever use this tool Can't imagine why. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, and you can also measure with this tool. Select that. We want to talk about inches. You can actually draw a box, and as you move the size of that box, you get a reading of what those inches are. Again, cannot think of an occasion where you will need that, but those tools are there as well. We're going to get into the most exciting and important part here, the commenting. Generally, when you first open this window, this side window will be closed. To open it, click on this arrow here, and you will see comments will appear in this window, and you'll see as we start to add them. You'll also have a window here that shows all the people who have opened or who have received the proof. You'll be able to see if it was sent to them. You'll be able to see if they have opened it. Let's say you send it to someone in the engineering department to approve an article. You can quickly tell if they have opened the document or not. If they've commented on it, this will be green, and if they've made a decision. The D will only be available to those who are approvers as well as reviewers. And if there's someone in this list who needs to be making a comment and you haven't seen any activity yet, you can actually click this wheel and send that person a message. And you can also send a message to the entire list, although that is probably not necessary. And there's some other details that you can see here and activity reports, but for the main thing, you will be using this tool when you're trying to communicate with your staff, and you'll be looking at the comments here. So let's begin by adding a comment. Let's move over to, let's go to page 3. Let page 3 load here. And let's say we're looking at this article and we realize that Academy Road was misprinted here and called Academy Drive. An easy mistake to make. And we can't really see that too well, so we're going to select and we're going to zoom in to that portion of the text. Get that up here where we can see it. All right, go back to the hand tool. So we won't inadvertently zoom in while we're working. And I'm going to take my add comment button, and we're going to say there that drive should be road. But how do we know where we're talking about on the page? That's where these marking tools come in handy. Most of the time, people tend to use the rectangle or the marker. Those tend to be the most popular tools. With the rectangle, we can draw the box around the word drive. Or if we wanted to with the marker, we could have actually highlighted, made it highlighted. Either way, when we hit the save tool, the save button rather, you notice that it draws a line to that area. So when we immediately at WordSouth receive an email that tells us a comment has been made on your proof, we can go to this list and begin scrolling down through all the items on the list, and there's no doubt where in the copy that particular proof is located. And we can actually make a comment here and save it, and you will get an email telling you there's been a comment to a comment that you have made. So there can actually be a live ongoing dialogue between people on your staff, our staff, and your staff. And this is a great tool to discuss something that, you know, there may be some question about, something that's been said in your magazine that you need some clarification, or we do. And this is an excellent tool to get some dialogue going on that. You will continue as you read the magazine. You'll continue through the publication in much the same way. Let me zoom back out to the full page. And once you have gone through the entire magazine and marked all the areas that need to be changed, or even marked questions, I'm not sure this is right. Could we check and clarify this information? All those things that you mark, it is time then to make a decision. And only the approver will have the green Submit Decision button. So we're going to click that now, and you will see actually you have 5 different decisions here, and pending is the current state of this, but we certainly don't want to leave it at that because that doesn't tell us anything. Not relevant is really the same way. I'm not sure why that what good that choice is. These are the 3 that you're going to be concerned with. Of course, approved, that's what we're all looking for. That is when you look at this proof and there are no more changes that need to be made. Even if we have 1 change here, so we would actually mark this one as changes required. The only time you would mark approved with changes is if there was a very small change and you did make that 1 comment and you want to say, well, this is approved with the change that I have marked. And really, we always prefer to see either this button or this button, because even if you have 1 change, we're going to post you another proof so that you can look at that proof and make sure we did make that change that you requested, because we want to see that green approved button. Once you select approved or changes required, in this case it would be changes required, you will hit the save, and now this proof has a decision. We're going to close it out here, and you will notice it now says decision, changes required. We will get an email that there's been a decision made. We will see that there are changes to be made. We will make those changes, post you a new proof, and we will go through that process. Normally, a couple of times through the proofing process is adequate. The system calls for up to 3 proofs. If we go beyond 3 proofs, then it slips over into actually a new proof. So our target certainly is to get all those done, all your changes made in 3 proofs. So it's good practice not to make a decision, not to click and actually file a decision on the proof until you hear from all your team members and you're sure that all the suggestions, all the comments, all the edits that you want to recommend have in fact been marked in that publication, so that the next proof you get will be an absolute up-to-date and clean copy. And again, you can use this tab here where it will list how many ever people are on your proofing team, and you can see the people on your team who have yet to open it or those who have made comments, and it helps you organize your team, especially as that local editor is the only person empowered to actually make the decision. And of course, now that I've commented, you see the green, the box is now green, and now that I've made a decision, the D box is now green as well. And that is a very brief overview of the online proofing system. And of course, if you have any additional questions, you will find more information in the Regional Telco Magazine user guide. And of course, we are always available by email or by phone to answer any questions that you may have concerning the online proofing process.